Tony Bruno, that's who it was. Thank you.
Wow, that's a huge compliment, Johnny B. That's awesome.
Thank you, that's who it is. Tony Bruno.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Bruno.
No, you didn't do it. Like, now you're not going to get it.
No, I'm never going to be. I'm never going to be able to do it again. It was just, I'm out here, I was in here, so yeah, that's what it is.
He tried to mimic you, is what it was. He was like, oh, we're on Tom Kelly. And he sounded like the dude, Tony Bruno.
Tony Bruno.
Oh, no, I know his voice. Nah, no way,
yes,
dude.
you did. I'm
no way.
you did.
No way, dude. I know his voice.
This is Merrill Reese here.
This is Joel Meat and...
What's the process?
And I'm a nightmare. I'm a nightmare.
And I'm going to be a nightmare for them.
I will shoot threes next game, and Horford, I will be a nightmare.
Horford. His mother's a
And Jason
Horford.
Tatum, this is my house.
Jason Tatum.
You will get nothing.
Tatum.
You will not pass go. You will not
just called him
$45.
Jason Tatum twice a
Tatum.
Screw you, Jason Tatum.
Tatum. It's alright, the one
The
comment.
Philadelphia Eagles have beat the Dallas Cowboys 27-10 here at Veterans Stadium.
I love it. I love it. Oh, you cannot. Oh, God.
Good Merle.
Dude, Harry,
That was very good.
what do you call it? What's his name? Does a good fucking...
Joe Coughlin.
Conklin.
Yeah, Coughlin does a good, everybody. He does a good Charles Barkley, all that's terrible.
That's terrible.
Dude, were you listening to him the other morning?
Yeah.
He sounded just like Barkley.
He does.
76ers.
I really thought Barkley
They're
called
gonna
him.
win this game, 2-0.
Oh, you know Barkley put the kibosh on the Sixers.
And that was
every
Ben
time he
Simmons.
So did
guaranteed.
Johnny B.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons at 1 point, man. 1 point. That's sad.
1.46.
Make sure you do all your banking at PNC.
This show is brought to you by.
Mike Dick.
I guess that counts. It's in a half.
You should have said mine.
I told you boys I was sick last week. I am raring to fucking go this week.
He
Sorry.
took his fucking meds.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
my God.
He took those meds.
Oh,
This
my
is
God.
Merrill Reese. Today's halftime show is brought to you by Ritalin, keeping kids in line since 1980.
John's going to be like, you guys had a really great show. You guys didn't talk about sports, but you really had a great show. What are you talking about, John?
Ready, Rick? Let's hit it, man.
Let's do it.
10 seconds in, Rick.
There it is. That was a warm up, guys.
Let's
Thank you
make-
for
let's-
tuning in
Woo!
to the Pattison
Everybody
Ave
loose.
Phanatics pregame show.
Thank you for tuning
The pregame show.
And now a word from our sponsors.
in. Oh, wait. We don't have any yet.
This show is brought to you by.
I've been working out. You know what I'm listening to, dude? I get all amped up.
I'm going lab topless, dude. I'm just talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Pattison Ave Phanatics Show. I'm your host, Tom Kelly. We got a couple of guests in the show today. We haven't had Johnny B in here in a couple of weeks. Johnny B's back in here. My main man, Willie Guns.
Here.
Joseph Marks.
What is up, Philly?
And my brother, Rob.
What's up?
Welcome to the show, my man. So, anybody watch that Sixers game last night?
Yeah, I kind of caught it. I think I kind of caught a couple of minutes of it.
Yeah.
Did you have that planned out to say that?
No, I
Or
didn't.
it just was natural?
No, I look
That's
at your
awesome.
face and it inspires
That's
me.
awesome, dude. That's.
I get all my inspiration from looking at your face.
We had to watch that game, obviously, and it was horrendous.
Yeah, no, not a fan of what transpired, and we'll get into some Sixers in a couple of minutes, but it felt like I was watching the Flyers from this year, watching that game yesterday. It was like I know, just seeing Will's. If you had seen Will's face, it was like, oh, jeez. It was they couldn't do anything right, and then all of a sudden they go on a run, and then it's gone. It's over. It's this series right here is going to define this team this year. And obviously, if it's the last series they play, of course you're going to say that, but it's just the way that the Philadelphia 76ers played throughout the season, and they kind of grew in momentum towards the end of the season, had that 17-game winning streak, and then to put that up. I mean, 1 point from Ben Simmons, that's supposed to be your field general.
I mean, you know the dude can't shoot. We already know that. And They stopped him from driving the bucket, dude. That's it. That's what they did.
Stopped him. He stopped himself
He was
at
0
the
for
time.
4 shooting, obviously all 4 layups, because God forbid if the dude took a friggin' jump shot.
Well, I think he got scared after that charge call. I think he got scared about going down the lane, and I'm like,
Dude, it was a charge call when you were up by 20 points. It's called wake the frig up and start scoring the damn basket.
Here's the other thing.
It's insane,
It's
dude.
one call.
I'm upset about that game.
It's one call.
Oh my God.
So like, why don't you just grow a set and like keep going? Because you have a body that can go into these guys. These are lightweights.
I'm sorry, Marcus Smart looks like a friggin' prisoner, dude. He just got that
Here's the
look.
thing.
I hate him, dude. I hate
That's
him so
fine.
much.
What
That's
correctional facility
It's
would
like-
you be looking like a prisoner in there, William?
I don't know. I've never been to prison. I watch Orange is the New Black.
So do I, yeah!
So I don't know.
Boom!
Here's the thing that's bugging me is the fact that with Joel Embiid, JoJo. I was about to say JoJo and then I switched.
No, you got to pronounce my name properly.
Yeah.
process.
Trust mine.
Trust your what?
So
I shoot 3.
the fact that he is scared, both him and Simmons are scared. It seems like they're scared to go and body up with these guys. JoJo's going against Al Horford, he's got inches on and weight on. Take him to the weight room, dude. Like, stop being scared. Like, these guys can obviously dominate if they choose.
I think
They're
it was
just not
home court.
choosing
No,
to.
listen, it was home court advantage. That's what it was.
JoJo dominated
No.
in the first half.
He
Yeah, but
doesn't
did
take
you
him to
hear-
the basket. He
He missed,
tries to
he
dance.
missed a lot of easy layups.
Right, but he tries to dance around like I want to be on Dancing with the Stars. No, stop. And just take him to the hoop. Take him to the hole, man.
me pirouette?
Yeah, and then wait a minute, and then get charged for a friggin' get called for a charge.
Well, that's
You
the thing.
can't be scared of those things. You can't.
Yeah, but listen, if he gets
Yeah,
in
but you gotta
foul
be mindful
trouble,
of them.
if
though,
he
and
gets
that's
in,
I agree.
unfortunately
Listen.
right now Boston's up in their they're in their heads. They got them. They got him out of their game.
I will say, dude, obviously the home team always gets the right calls and everything, but that was very lopsided when it came down to those calls, dude.
I agree, but I mean,
Simmons getting called for that charge was total bullshit, dude. Total bullshit.
there was two.
Sorry for people that don't want to hear
There
that.
was two things in that game that
Shit's fine, right?
that
You can say shit, right, Tom?
there was two things. I'm trying to move on. It's so bad. There's two things that bothered me a lot in that game, and the one was the Matador defense.
Just
that I saw.
two?
Yeah,
Just two?
Just two.
They blew a 22-point lead. That's
Right.
one.
But they didn't
Ben
lose.
Simmons 1 point. That's two.
Just two. Come on, let's keep on going, guys. Let's bring things up. Marcus Smart's face.
Wait a minute.
3.
Wait a minute.
Baines with that
But I'm not
freaking man
talking,
bun.
I'm not talking
4.
about individual.
I can say 100.
Wait. I'm not talking about individual
Ah.
problems. I'm talking about team problems.
Why do
We
you
were
always
all-
use 2? You always use 2.
He used 7 before.
7 million.
It's your lottery ticket. Don't look at me.
That shirt will be
I'm
made,
trying to
by
get
the
a
way.
point
That
across,
shirt
and
will
I
be
got-
made.
John, did I send it to you? I'm going to send it to you.
I seen the t-shirt.
Here's
Did you see that?
I'm gonna get one made.
You had
I
Matador
got- I'll
defense
talk to you
being
about it.
played by everyone
I think
on the
that shirt
team.
would sell a million copies.
Ilya Silva
7
jumped
million.
out of the way.
Wow, that's dirty. Good.
I'm listening.
Good, Joey.
I don't know if anyone's listening
I'm listening.
anymore.
I'm sorry. What?
I'm listening. I
Check,
can
check,
hear
1, 2,
you.
1, 2.
I can hear you.
Anyhow, the fact that Ilya Silva ducked out of the way to let an easy layup go. The fact that at the end of the game, when the game is on the line, I know he's got 5 fouls, but JoJo let Al Horford have a free layup.
Joe, when you have 5 fouls, that's what you got to
The
do.
game's on the line. The game is on the line.
Was it him? Didn't he go down and shoot the 3 right after that? Yeah, well, that's why he didn't want to get found out.
Okay,
I get
understand
it, it's
something.
funny,
They're down by 5. You allow them to get a free layup that seals the game. So you're saying it's okay to give a lame dunk defense? It's okay to give up
There was
because it's 5 fouls?
there was like no time.
I'm very sorry.
It was close to being done.
I'm really
I get what you're
sorry. I
saying,
apologize. Just that I had some key stuff.
Okay. Here's the thing.
It
Ilya
has nothing to do with what
Silva,
Joey's talking about. This is some private info right now.
Yeah, so hold on 1 second.
Ilya Silva had lame dunk, did Matador defense twice last game.
Yeah, but he had some good offensive rebounds, dude.
What the hell?
We lost that game because Rozier became God. Jason Tatum looks like the
We lost that.
real rookie of the year. He does look like that. He
Hold
was
on.
He's
So,
so
guys, our friend of the show, Alan, who called in last week, had a question, which kind of it was on one of the topics that I brought up, but I'll bring it up now. Why did they pull TJ in favor of Simmons? TJ was on fire
because he didn't want Simmons to lose any kind of confidence.
Yeah.
But he had one freaking point. It didn't matter. His confidence was gone already.
Another friend of the show, John Salvatore, wants to know how many times can Willie Gunn say friggin'?
I can't say the other word, Sal, so sorry.
So here's my question.
I know you'd rather hear the other word.
Are we coddling this team in order to preserve what's coming in the future? Or are we trying to put all our chips in now? Because it feels like with saying that you leave McConnell in and you don't let Ben try to work things out.
You leave McConnell in, you win the game.
I don't agree.
You don't agree?
Why?
Wow.
I mean, Ben had 1 point. Now, I understand.
He's got to work it out.
I understand. Hindsight's 20. You're going to work it out in the playoffs? In the friggin' playoffs? And I'm there you go. I said friggin'.
Tommy Kelly. It says friggin'.
So essentially, you're saying that the guy who's going to be your superstar point guard going.
No,
forward.
you go with it's the playoffs. You go with what works. Whatever's
Right,
working
but that's
at
not
that
putting
time.
the chips in the middle of the table.
Joey,
Yeah, no, you're keeping the chips and taking more out of the
they
middle
got
of the
that lead because McConnell was in there because Ben Simmons was on the bench.
What? Okay.
Ben was having an off night. As a head coach,
I
Brett
agree
Brown,
with that,
Brett Brown
but-
needs to be able to assess that situation
Yeah.
and keep TJ
You
McConnell.
can't look at puppy
Okay.
dog eyes sitting on the sideline looking over at you saying, "Can you please put me back in?"
So can we-
and I would have said, "No, Ben, you got 1
Can we-
point tonight. Relax,
Can
okay?
we-
I'm gonna let TJ McConnell run this shit."
Can we address the elephant? Can we address the elephant in the room? Why is Markelle Fultz not being put in?
Because his shot's trash right now. Because he's inside of his
But
own
everyone
head.
liked him at the end of the season.
Wait.
But the playoffs are a totally different level.
Oh, so a game is not just a game anymore.
Well, let's get back to TJ McConnell because you glanced right over that as we were talking about.
Yeah,
it.
exactly. TJ
No, I'm
McConnell was
saying
the
Markelle
Like,
Fultz is being praised as the
Joey,
number one.
Joey.
But we're not talking about Markelle Fultz.
Wait, yes, we are. We're talking
Ladies and
about.
gentlemen, this is the
We're
Pattison Ave
talking
Phanatics Joe
about.
and Mark show.
Wait a minute. We're talking about TJ McConnell, who's an undrafted rookie, or undrafted free agent, I should say.
And he played his ass off last night, dude.
You spent a first round.
I don't give a shit
pick.
what I
Doesn't
said.
matter,
I
it's
want to
the
win the
playoffs.
game.
I don't care
I want to
about
win the
any
game.
So
you
I asked-
play to win the game. Thank you, Herman Edwards.
I asked a question. So then you're saying that you're saving the future for the future, and you're not putting all the chips in.
It's the playoffs. There is no
You
future.
did,
It's
Joey,
right
the
now.
only thing you say,
Right. So then
the only thing you say was TJ
to see
McConnell's
what's
minutes.
happening.
That's it. You just basically took him out and put a cold Ben Simmons in.
Let's be clear.
The dude can't shoot as it is.
Let's be clear.
He wasn't able to
You're
drive.
singing TJ McConnell's praises after game 2.
We're not singing
where
his
was TJ
praises.
McConnell all season?
No, we're not
Whoa.
singing. We're not singing his praises.
Where was he
Joey,
at all
Joey,
season?
Take TJ
Wow,
out
don't
and
even say that.
and
TJ McConnell played his ass off all year.
insert any name that you want. If you're hot in the playoffs, you stick with him. You do not pull for Ben Simmons.
I get it, but there's not enough. I'm not even harping as much on the offense as you guys
So what's
are.
your reason
I'm
for putting
harping-
Ben Simmons back in? I
I'm
want to know your
harping-
reason. Can
wait
you
a
tell
minute,
me your reason?
wait a minute.
No, forget
I'm-
about what you're going to say. What's your reason for putting Ben Simmons back in? That's what we're talking about.
No, because you won't let me make my point.
Your
Why should I
point
let
has
you
been
make
the same
yours?
thing over and over again.
No, it hasn't. What's my point been then?
All right, just say something. Go ahead.
Go ahead, make your point.
Okay, my point is you guys are harping on the offense because you're bringing up TJ McConnell and the fact that he's scoring. My point is that they lost because their defense was too weak. They had so many open.
TJ McConnell was playing
How many
defense, by the
alley-oops
way.
did Boston have in the last 5 minutes?
That was TJ McConnell's fault?
No, it's the defense. I'm not talking about TJ McConnell.
I know we were. That's what
Dude,
we're-
Right, but you
Dude.
guys, I'm saying you guys
Oh
are
my
harping on the
God!
offense.
Oh my God! You're talking about shit that happened after he left.
I'm saying you guys are harping on the offense.
What about why he was in there, Joey? They were up by 22 points. You're really
Right,
gonna
and
sit
then
there and
they-
justify taking him out, putting Ben
But
Simmons
TJ
in?
wasn't the reason they were up by 22.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
No,
who had,
no.
Whoa, whoa,
He didn't come in.
whoa. TJ was the reason we were up by 22. So
He
what?
was
TJ had
one of them.
22?
Obviously, not one guy. It's not
JJ
LeBron
Redick
James
was the
here.
reason you were up by 22.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Let's not
TJ
get crazy.
McConnell was playing really good defense, dude. He got 2 key offensive rebounds.
He had
and
3
not only that-
steals. The whole game he had 3 steals.
He didn't play
He
the
didn't
whole
play
game.
that great of defense. The whole team didn't play that great of defense.
Can somebody pull up TJ McConnell's
You know, actually had
stats since
a good-
I don't have a friggin' laptop in front of me?
You know, actually had a
Friggin' or
good
freaking?
defensive night was Covington, and I can't
Yes.
stand it. I can't stand it.
Covington
Yeah, a lot of
can't-
rebounds.
listen,
Rocco was busted.
Rocco can't
The,
lay the ball up at all.
The
Stop
gen-
practicing
the
the
gentleman
free
that
throw.
the gentleman that we'll have on in a little bit is not a Rocco fan, and we'll
Yeah.
talk to him about it. It's
Good.
John.
Yes.
It's John from 215 Live. Is coming.
Yeah, but
on.
Rocco shot well last night, dude. He was on fire at the
Dude,
beginning.
he had a serviceable game last night. I'll give him credit. I'm not gonna. You know, he didn't blow my socks off by
And
any
he
stretch
plays with a lot of
imagination.
heart, dude. He does not take a play off. I'll
Yeah,
give him credit.
But
He does.
heart.
But he's not worth 11 million a year.
No,
He's
not at all. Not at all. Maybe a $7 million lottery ticket, but he is not worth $11 million.
Difference
Wow.
between heart and skill.
Wow. If I
Big
found that
difference
$7 million
between
You
lottery,
can have all the heart you want.
You gotta have some skill.
You gotta have some skill
Yeah.
to back that heart up. Like Rocky Balboa had all the heart you want, but he did have some skill.
some.
Some.
Could have been a leg. Could have been.
You're a bum.
Became a leg.
You're a bum. That's what you are. You're nothing but a bum.
We are.
You don't like my house?
We're like 12 minutes into the show, and we are on fire right now. This is great. This is good radio. I hope you people are enjoying
What
it.
you want? You want a TJ stats?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
TJ McConnell. Look, I'm not saying TJ McConnell
He played
was the
17
be-all,
minutes,
end-all.
4 for 4 field goal, 1 rebound, 5 assists.
He wasn't the be-all.
And
end-all.
what was his plus minus? Because
Plus 16.
yeah, exactly. He wasn't the reason that we're up by 22. Maybe it was the reason why we're up by 16. Maybe
guard?
at some point in that game.
Who do you guard?
Indeed.
No,
No, be serious. Who do you guard?
And
You
then-
have no idea who he guard. Listen, you
I
can be plus
watched the game.
16
He
and
guarded
guard the
Rozier.
water
You
boy.
want me to be
all over the
honest?
floor
He
and
guarded
fixed that partner's
Rozier.
hair
There were
every 5
times.
minutes.
Listen, there were times where he guarded Smart. There was times where he guarded Rozier. He guarded.
That was the biggest problem yesterday. Was they did not play man. They kept switching off of people.
Yeah, you can't play zone.
Like Boston
Can't
was
play man.
completely inside their head
Well,
the entire game.
I mean, I still feel like
Yeah, but you were
if they
up by
play man,
22. You were up by 22, and your main, not your main player, because Embiid is, but your Robin scored 1 friggin' point.
I was more mad that he didn't call a timeout.
Is that?
Oh, by the
Me
way,
too.
7 turnovers. 7 turnovers.
It's been something that's been discussed a lot about the timeout, and I don't know.
They
I'm
went on
on
a
the fence.
20-5 run. You don't call a timeout.
Dude, you were screaming at the TV just like I was. Call a damn timeout! When's this timeout coming? I wanted to go to the bathroom.
You have to remember that there are some coaches, and there are good coaches, that let the players play through. And then there are some coaches that are still good coaches.
When
that
you're
call timeout.
blowing a
It's-
big time 22-point lead,
In their house.
you have to call that timeout. Have to.
Okay, but then what happens if it's a close game at the end of the game?
It
and you
was.
don't have a timeout.
Wow.
Joey, we watched the game. We all know when you got to call timeout.
No.
He definitely should know.
No,
Like
I
Would you
5
agree?
minutes and 38
But
seconds
if
left.
he-
You should have called the timeout.
Yes.
If you
No,
would have
no,
called that
but it
timeout,
happens all the time. If a team's constantly scoring on you and destroying you, you gotta call a timeout to
well,
collect yourself.
This was mentioned last night on TNT. They changed the timeout rules from last year to this year. So like I guess he was freaked out about that. I don't know. Something about like if you're on like 3 minutes, you get 2 timeouts. And so like he's worried about losing a timeout at the end of the game.
Here's
I don't know.
the
He's
thing.
horrible with
Here's-
timeouts. I will say that right now. He's not good with the
No,
timeouts
it's-
at all.
There was a huge coaching issue there. The problem with Brett Brown, it seems like, is he's coaching this team like it's chock full of veterans. Like he's coaching the San Antonio Spurs of 5 years ago.
True.
Okay, so there's a big problem there because this is not, it's a young team. It's a young team, and he's coaching them like they're a veteran team. So he's not calling timeouts. He's trying to let them dig themselves out. Where as a head coach, you need to be able to identify when you need to call a timeout, regroup. And I've thought this a lot over the season, but the Sixers have been able to mask that because they've been playing teams of lesser caliber talent. Well, now you're in the playoffs and you're in the second round. You're playing Boston without 2 of their all-star players,
Right,
and they're handing you
And possibly a third at half strength.
Exactly,
Yeah, but
half
I-
strength.
but
And did
you
you see?
gotta admit-
As soon as he checked into the game, he's running, picking
Yeah,
up a ball, and dunking.
Yeah, but
himself.
Rozier is playing like Kyrie Irving.
You
I
hate
mean,
that.
He is.
This is
You
why
I
brought-
hate him with
This is why I
passion.
brought that point up because
I
Tom
do.
brings up the point of he's playing like he's got veterans on the team, If you heard what Brett Brown said after we eliminated the Heat, he said, well, I'm looking forward to the next round so they can have more growth and they can have more experience.
Well, that's admitting defeat. That means that you're afraid of what you've got coming to you and you're looking forward to seeing the guys handle it.
What I feel like that's saying is that we're not putting all our chips in, that we are looking to the future. And that kind of freaks me out.
But Joey, a lot of it is coaching because obviously we're talking about the timeout issues.
Right.
But you got it. If Boston consistently is reading what you're doing offensively, that next timeout that you take afterwards, you should have a different offense coming out there. And Boston, every single time you saw the screen happen, Boston was going for the ball to steal it, just like Miami did. And I was hoping that Boston wouldn't notice it, but obviously they're a top-notch basketball team. The Sixers' offense is too predictable. And if they keep on missing threes the way they are, yes, they're going to get swept.
Do you feel
they got to start making those threes, dude. They live by the three, they die by the three.
Do any of you guys feel like, with the comments that I was saying about what Brett Brown said, that he is kind of half in, half out, like he's not fully committed?
Who?
Brett Brown. To like if he's saying this is about growth rather than winning.
I agree with
He shouldn't have
said that.
Yeah, I don't believe
he shouldn't have said that. That was a dumb thing.
But I don't believe for a second that Brett Brown's not all in. You can listen to his post-game conferences. You can see on the video where they got past the first round and they doused him with water and chocolate milk. Like he had his arm around Embiid and like he hugged him and like kissed him. Like these are like his kids.
Right, but you got it about growth, and then I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, I'm massively confused.
They can still win this series, man.
Absolutely.
I am full on.
They should be beating this team senseless.
Listen.
Something got into their heads. I don't know why they're missing these open three-point shots. I don't know why that they won't change up their offense when it's getting red. But it's going to get fixed. They're going to win these 2 games in Philly.
One of the questions.
Can they win in Boston though? Wow, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
One of the questions Tom had was: is the home court for the Sixers going to change the landscape of the
Oh
series?
yeah,
Absolutely.
I can't wait to hear this crowd because to be honest with you, that Boston crowd was unreal.
Yeah.
So I want to hear our crowd.
Oh,
because even when we were up by 22, Boston did a 3-pointer. Wow, the crowd was into it.
It's like they ripped the Sixers' souls right out of their chest.
They did.
Now, Boston, they're a 4-for-4 town, and they're a major sports market, just like us. So now let's see what happens when Game 3 comes here tomorrow night, and what happens when you get the Philly faithful behind you. Now, that's what Embiid feeds off of. That's exactly how he, works his game. I can't wait to see how this crowd's going to be tomorrow, but it's obvious this is probably going to be a home team series. So the Sixers have to find a way to steal one.
But here's the thing. If you win 2 straight games in Philly, you got momentum going back into Boston.
Then it's a 3-game
So
series.
you figured out your skill. You figured out that you were hitting the threes again.
Yeah.
Why am I going to miss the threes now? Go back to Boston. I want to come back to Philly. I'm going to win this for the city of Philadelphia, not for the guys in that locker room, not for the coach. I'm winning this for the city of Philadelphia. They deserve it.
But when you're having these locker room talks, they talk about that as like your 3rd or 4th thing. They're talking about. No, they're talking about, and no, it shouldn't. They're talking about winning it for themselves, winning it for
they pay
the coach.
Tommy. The fans pay to go to the games. The fans buy the merchandise.
When you're in the heat of the moment,
we're talking about it right now. We're fans.
Absolutely.
You should no. That's the difference between teams that win the championship and teams that are just there. You need to get into your mind that obviously we want to win for each other because it's brotherly. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you gotta win for the city. For that city that you're playing for. The Eagles got that in their head. The Eagles never mentioned, obviously they talked about their team spirit, but they always said, we're going to win this for Philadelphia. Not for the Philadelphia Eagles, not for anything else. They said, we're going to win it for Philadelphia. Whether you're a fan or not, we're winning it for that city. That city deserves that championship. And I'll tell you right now, the Sixers aren't feeling that. They're not doing that.
No, I agree with that.
I agree with that.
And you got to do that.
To add into what you were saying about like a team feeling like we have to do it for the city, the only team that I would say in the NBA at least that wouldn't do that is LA Lakers.
Hey guys,
fair weather fans.
We got a phone call right now. Rick, we good? Got him queued up. So next on the line is a host of one of the other shows here on Wildfire Radio called 215 Live. You can catch those guys on Monday nights at 7 o'clock. It's John Crichton. John, thanks for calling in, man. Not much, my brother. We're battling right here on some Sixer stuff. You're the one person that I was hoping I could. Yeah, it's. I mean, that's one of the ways that we roll here. Fortunately, we get a little fired up. Let me ask you, just as one of the hot topics that we were talking about, when they pulled TJ, how did you feel about that? Aaron, I'm sorry, when they pulled TJ to bring Ben back in, what would you have done? True. Well, and it's. I'm sorry, go ahead. Now. Now, is it one of those things where it's like you were saying, they're a bench player for a reason, they're going to get exposed the longer that they're out there? Yeah.
So maybe they kept McConnell in too long.
Yeah, and well, it's obviously when we were talking about it. Now, my point was Ben wasn't feeling it. So what do? You let him work through that, I guess. That's kind of what Joey's point was. You let him work through that during.
So it's worth losing the game. It's worth losing that game because I think if McConnell stayed in that game, I think that the outcome would have been different.
He was in there long enough, though. He was like he just said. He's in there for spurts. He gets his spark back. Like, he was in there too long. He had to come out anyway.
So maybe they kept him in there too long, and that's what kind of destroyed the rest of Ben's game.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey John, I had a quick question. So you think with the Sixers and the series turning back to Philly that the Sixers 3-point percentage will turn up a bit? It's been pretty putrid for our trek in Boston. You think it'll turn up a bit because it's home court? Yeah. Right. And the other thing I had, because you were talking about Boston's defense, does having Ben walk up the ball, does that make a difference if like you had someone else walk up the ball and then have Ben be able to get free?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
John, I got one for you. So, Horford shooting a three and drawing Embiid out from the paint. What can they do? I mean, would you switch a guy on him? Like Embiid coming out of the paint, in my opinion, lost us the first two games. That's Brown. That's Brett Brown, in my opinion, getting out coached. What do you think? Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and they only shot 28% off game one.
Gotcha. Well, I think you got one for John.
Yeah, the one question I had is, which I notice a lot when I'm watching the Sixers games, whether they win or they lose, a lot of times Ben Simmons will dish the ball off and just run somewhere ready for a rebound. And that's all he does. Like, after that, he'll never get the ball back. And I feel like maybe the Sixers need to get them that ball back sometimes instead of just letting the other team know that Ben's done with the ball. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. But you
No.
got to win these two
Yeah.
in Philadelphia.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Take it easy. John, real quick before I let you go, I know it's a Friday night and everybody's busy. How did the Will and I got a chance to come out last Thursday? How did that end up turning out? The draft show. Yeah. Do we Very nice. Very nice. Do we have anything?
Oh, my
very
man,
nice.
my man.
Very nice. Do we have anything coming up now, or are we just waiting on that right now? Okay. Gotcha. Sure. Well, nice. Yeah, we're happy to be here. John, where can our listeners follow you at and